Wow, gets me every time. So this is a little shaky. um, spin beings. We spin 33 times a day. Not all of us. Sometimes we do more, sometimes we don't do it at all. We believe that we're all stars. All of us are stars. And we're all spinning at our own spin in our own way. And you can't copy another star. This is not creation. This is a big warning that we've been given for the years ahead now, is that the clowns and the clones, they're unnecessary, so they'll just fade off. So you have to find your own spin, your own essence, why you came here. And no one can show it to you. You have to go within and find this. There's no apps. There's no Google searches for it. I know, because we've been living this for the last 3 decades with our family, and pretty much everything that the speakers have spoken about and things I hear from so many amazing people that are sharing their stories is that we've been living this, our whole family, our experiences. We didn't choose this life. It's not part of our profession in any way. We're not supposed to be in front of the camera, that's for sure. The stars actually told us that this day was happening today. In 1997, we used to get our astrology done, and she told us that you will be royal and you'll go global in 2022 and 2023. Well, I just presumed that was from fashion photography. Who knew what would unfold? So I met my husband Richard 1997, and for 2 cycles, so I call 7 years cycles. So we had two cycles of cleaning up our act. We would practice feng shui, yoga, acupuncture, eating healthier, cutting and eliminating things in our diet. We practiced sun gazing, sound healing, herb healing, pretty much everything. Then in this time frame, we also had 8 children. We had home births, natural births. We did lots of things that most people didn't want or believe that we should be doing, but we did it our way. And we brought the children up differently. We didn't let the children really watch TV or have toys, which their school friends and mums thought were weird. So again, always running against the current of what was going on in mass consciousness. And it was tricky. It was very tricky. And then, we had a couple of financial crises in there as well. Things that bring you to your knees. Makes you reassess everything. Reassess beauty, money, material things. What do you really need? So we shift up to the easternmost point of Australia, Byron Bay, because we couldn't find really anywhere to live in Sydney. We didn't have the money. And 2011, 2012, it started to change. The voices in my head got louder and louder and just wouldn't leave me alone. I didn't want to listen to them because it just made me look crazier and crazier to the family. But this was, again, a whole cycle. In this cycle, Elsa, our children got older, and they realised that not only was I we call it reincarnating because we don't actually know another word for it, with this other realm, but the children and my husband are in the same order. We look the same. We have similar body languages. We have similar skills. It's actually quite freaky. It's a bit cheesy as well. Like I would ask all the time, does it want to be something different? Does it have to be this way? You don't get a choice. Or do you? Did you choose it? So why did it have to be that other family? They had such a horrible outcome. No one liked them. They kept saying, it's not what you think. It's not what you think. They're alive as much as we are right now. And I said, well, that's great. How am I going to prove this? So I started doing regresses in this cycle. So now I'm meeting with the other realm with intention and changing history. How is this possible? My kids tell me. I tell them about the regress, and then they'd say, within a few hours later, it's out in the news. It's changed. This is how my family began to believe me. So for 7 years, this other realm was going on. So we've cleaned up our act. We've accepted this other realm. Not only have I accepted the other realm, but so has my family. And then the craft get bigger. We were having a lot of craft experiences and military right in our faces. We would have a lot of ghost encounters, but 2017 was we call it the big ones. A lot of my terminology is for children. It's not for star seeds or star people or the spiritual people. We weren't communicating with anyone. We kept to ourselves because we could see it disturbed others when we spoke about what we did. Even if we just spoke about one practice, it would rattle others. So we chose best to be quiet. Well, after this 2017, we're into the next cycle, next 7-year cycle, and it was just upgrade. The children now are drawing beings, communicating with them, seeing them in shopping centres. We see them when we go walking. We see the girls swim with them underwater. How do we know they're real? Because they're right before us. They give us gifts. We have ease and grace. They protect us, and there's a purpose to all this. We're in the Lismore floods. We were also in the Australian bushfires just prior to that, and we just got this wave of feeling that they were going to manipulate with the beings, and the children were really upset. They said, "Mum, these are our friends. They've helped us, and now they're going to use our friends against humanity. What are you going to do about it?" I was like, "What do you mean? What am I going to do about it?" So they told me to contact the Star Lady. And I was like, "Who's the Star Lady?" And the Star Lady was this amazing lady called Mary Rodwell. And I sent her some pictures and just told her that if we can reassure any of her clientele that they're friends, and it's not what we think, and they shape shift. It's just how you perceive them. It's where your belief systems are. Mary and I sort of went back and forth over, I think it was a month, but not a lot. And then we met up, Mary and I. And in this time frame, we had the lockdowns, and so we stopped working. We found out about our industry. We were around a lot of celebrities. If Richard hasn't shot them, I have. We've shot in president homes. We've shot in sacred sites all around the world. And we realised that our industry needed a break, a clean up. So we haven't worked as photographers. So I meet up with Mary, and the night before I asked the stars, what am I going to say to Mary? And they told me, you're going to do videos. And I was like, what? I'm not doing any more videos. I told you I'm not doing that industry anymore. Not for a while anyway. You're doing videos. Anyway, so I meet Mary and share it all with her. And she only knew about all the beings. I think there was only about 400 at this time. Then I told her about the other realm. And I said, I don't understand how this other realm is simultaneously playing out with ours. But it is. And it doesn't matter what anyone says to us. These experiences are our experiences. They're happening for us. And pretty much when we meet people out, we outnumber. So it's quite interesting. The encounters we have are through fae, through crystals, through meteors, stars, Egyptian, the Mayans, Aztecs, the Chinese, the Asian cultures, the indigenous, the Indians, the land. Maps talk to us, animals speak with us, and not only domestic animals, but the wild will be out on our boat and have huge whale encounters right this far away from us. We call the whales in. We noticed that the film, we've noticed that through these experiences, my experience up in a craft, I learned that this is called, the terminology of it is called a Tenenback. That one was very weird because my family didn't know who I was the next day, and for 6 months, or 2 or 3 months, felt like 6, my family stopped talking to me. They said I don't smell the same, and they said I was different. The animals would growl. The horses would shun me. But to me, it was still me, but I was different. So these experiences that we've had, we didn't do this to be famous. We did this, we've come out because the beings were our friends. Friends, you know, like we care about them. So now I'm in front of a camera speaking to you and speaking with Nefertiti. She's here all the time. She shows up for me all the time, and I for her. I help her, she helps me. We help each other's children. And she told me the royal nod this year. And she said that the actual Egyptologists, more than one of them said that Nef's bust, which is the first way I contacted with me, was that it had to be this way. It had to be iconic so that everyone would resonate and connect and understand. I never see her eyes, and I don't think she sees mine. But we always know that they're there. A lot of the things that have happened in that realm have happened with our realm here. We have our eldest son, he's not at home. We haven't had contact with him for many years now, a couple of years. They told me that once his leg popped, he would leave. So I knew his leg popped. I knew he was going to go. He's experienced a lot of things on the other side that we wouldn't put him through. But I believe in the spin. I believe in the star. I believe in his path. And I believe in my path. My kids are going to really laugh because they'll say you're crying again in another life. We are fragile. We are so fragile. They have showed me the correction of language through the roots. They have taken me back before maketh man. And they've showed me the words and how they've tricked us with the language. They've tricked us with the matrix. They've tricked us in the mothers before, when we were placed as a seed in the womb. They showed me the cross. The cross was incorrect. It was out of alignment. And they showed me that the heart is not the true heart. The heart is the spleen. This is where we get the word splendid. The spleen is where we make our decisions. The spleen is where many ancient alien DNA live in us. If you have too many of these in you and don't keep them in balance, they take over the host. And this is what we've been seeing the last few decades. How do you tell people this? You can't. You're called crazy. But Neff and Ikem knew, as do we, and you keep them in balance, and then you are the God within. No God is above the other. This is part of the 10 Commandments. They also showed me the true way to read that as well. They've showed me how to read the hieroglyphs differently. I do not wish to stand on anyone's toes with all the education they've done, but they show me all the time it's not what we think. It's not what we think. They knew we were coming. The ancient aliens within us, they knew we were coming, and they've served us to this point. But now we're at a changeover point, we're at completion, we're at the furthest that we could be from our true selves now. We're at rock bottom. We're descend ants down one side of the pyramid, and we're at rock bottom in the dark of the void. Many have thought this would be an apocalypse. It's not. It's where the new light comes through. It's a completion, a cycle. It's satisfy. It's Saturn. To do a full spin is Saturn. And now we shed our light and shine our light for others. You cannot save people. You cannot help people. But you can inspire. What happens if this one doesn't do it? And you're the other one. And my children are the other ones. And my dogs, my cats, they're the other ones. We're all ones. This is the matrix. It's binary. It was never one and one is two. This was incorrect as well. It's the matrix. It's 1 1 1 0 0 1 1 1 0 0 0 1. They speak of this all through our language. Our closest relation is the fruit fly, not the monkey. Once you know the key of the monkey and the key of the donkey, all this changes. They thought that the indigenous were going to bring this information through. And they've been treated so harshly over the years in many cultures, over many, many years. I've seen a lot. I've seen a lot of dark. Many people don't hear me talk about the dark stuff because it's unnecessary. It's been broadcast enough. But I've seen it. I'm not naive to it. It was like I had to see it to understand the tears of it, to build the mother strength within, to share these crazy story. But this story comes from a fragile love. The word fragile means fern. A fern is what blankets the forest. It allows the seed from the fruit bats and the birds to grow onto the thistles. It blankets the seed so they can grow. Fragile, the word fragile, origin meaning of it is divine law. So I am fragile. And I am here to show you that we can reverse the matrix, but you have to let go of it. To let go of the matrix, you have to stop playing it. If things are failing for you now, which they will, if they're not for the highest good, they will be failing, or they'll be going into stalemate, or repeat mode, or just not fun anymore. If this is happening for you, you need to come at a different angle, a different angel. These new angles that you'll find, if they start to work, the gifts will arrive for you in ways that you can't imagine. They'll be magical. People say to us all the time, it's always about you. And I say, how can it be about anything else but me when I'm speaking about me? I'm the star of my show, as you are yours. I can't speak about your show. But I'm here to show you as a crazy example. The year I found out about Neff, this is one of the first smear campaigns. We call them smear campaigns. Smear campaigns come out in films, in Hollywood, in news, to ridicule us. And they've been doing it for years. They do it with language. They do it with taking out history. They just wipe it out. This first smear campaign was the movie Elsa, Frozen. The dovetailing and the butterfly effects with this movie is amazing. Her name was never Elsa in the original novel by Hans Christian Andersen. Why did they give it that name? They gave it this name because they knew we were coming. They knew we were coming. How do they knew we were coming? Because they can remote view. If I can remote view from a child, they can remote view. So they knew we were coming. They smear campaign the craft that we see. They'll say it's someone famous who owns it. But now their tricks are being respun. And what is happening is the more tricks they play, the more it seems to empower our story. We are descend ants, and now we are about to ascend ants. We have had tyrants. The ant language is through everything. Ants look after their dead. Ants look after their ill. Ants is the true beings that we're here. We believe Earth grows. and Earth has been growing. She also is a being. Earth doesn't become less, it becomes more. The reason it becomes more is from the asteroids and the comets going past. The last speaker spoke about plasma, which is funny because we learn about this word through bitumen. The word mummy means tar. Tar is the frozen mud on the comets, come ET. So we are soul-are. We are souls. Soul-are. We trigger the sun to have bigger solar flares. They knew these solar flares were coming as well. The more we lift our vibration, the more we trigger the solar flares. The law of attraction brings the comets and the asteroids closer. They can feel us too. They have water. We know water intelligence now. We talk to water. Water hears us on those comets. It comes in closer. It's attracted to us. So now you have the frozen mud passing us, solar flares, then it rains down on us. Now we've all been ill with mucus. What does not serve us now is coming up. It's time now to serve ourselves. I've had an experience with beings where they cut my throat, and they told me that it's not what you think, you're okay. That it's not food of the gods, it's food for the gods. It's peasants, peasants. Please is the starches and the sugars, and they feed off this. The ancient alien DNA love dark. Ancient alien DNA do not like blue. Ancient alien do not like the sun. They do like us though, as much as we like to have the dark side and the light side. They do like us. But it's time for them to come now to a balance. This is the chess game inside us. It's the red queen and the white queen in Alice in Wonderland. It's the white blood cells and the red blood cells. It's time to take balance internally, where we entered our place of entry, the plasma, the placenta, the place of entry. This is where our beliefs come from. How do you enslave many? By not knowing they're slaves. They thought that if they had a grasp on the indigenous cultures that they could stop it, and they were just here to bring the thread all the way through so that we could pick up on it. We're the wild swans, we're the impossible ones, we're the golden ones, we're the chosen ones. We are the ones. You just have to remember. If my words irritate you, please find the niggle. These niggles are here to serve you. The niggles, the anger, the frustration, the irritation, wherever you feel these, they will rise up now for you to address. This is how you heal yourself. We heal ourselves with herbs. We heal broken bones. We regrow our teeth. We heal our animals with humming. We heal others in our presence. We can communicate with autistics and the children, or the ones that have the crooked pupils. We assist ghosts and heal the land. And no one taught us any of this. It's innate in us, as it is in you. My children, our children, don't know any different. The hardest thing for them is first contact with the others, the ones that don't remember. So this creates conflict for them, and this is their path that they're going through. But our children, they are very capable. They know how to cook for themselves, clean. They know how to train animals. They have taught themselves languages, piano. We do homeschooling, and we're here to show others that you can do it. And you can actually do it with ease and grace. And you can do it and have fun. And there doesn't have to be this struggle. So we're walking proof that all of this is possible. Anu, the ant intelligence, is in us. Anu, they speak through here. Anu is the queen ant, the ant tutor. The ant tutor is, she knows her role as the royal. There is no royal how we understand it. The royal is just accepted for her role. It's her role and then the other's role in the nest. Everyone in the nest raises the intelligence within the nest, and the nest's intelligence is an organism. It's a collective intelligence that raises together, and this is what will happen. So through us shining and being our true selves, with all these new ways of possibly living, will shine for the others, and they'll just come along. And some of them won't have to go through all these experiences. I'll have different ones. But the story of us is really out there, really crazy. A lot of people don't talk to us anymore. That's okay. We meet all these amazing new people. We get gifts that come from I don't know where. They knew we were coming to share this information. And I'm proud to be here with you all. And I'm glad that I'm the one of me. Because it's important that we come forth as our whole one for each other and our children.